Happy Halloween! What do you mean I missed it? Shut up. Happy Halloween, one and all, and welcome. There's nothing in this mug. So, it's Halloween. Or at least it is about to be Halloween when I'm recording this. And it's fall at large, which means there's a chill in the air, the flannels are out, the fireplaces are becoming cozier and chestnuttier by the second. But I think there's still a little bit of time to do some scaring, some spooking, so bust out the ghouls, the skeletons, the creepers. You are not what I mean. Go away.
Oh man.
There we go, that's what I'm talking about. I've had this video in the works for a little while now, and I figured what better time to talk about the spookiest Pokemon type there is. The spookiest Pokemon type there is, bug types. So grab your spider cider, pull up a chair, and let's have a little chat. We love bug types here, almost as much as we love ice types. In fact, judging by the comments on these couple of videos, maybe even more than we love ice types. Not more than I love ice types. Creamtown is ride or die forever. But if my Pokemon preferential chart is to be believed, bug types definitely hold a special place in my heart. So we're gonna go over a couple things about them, because boy, do people seem upset about the current state of affairs. There's a lot to love about bug types. It's home of the goobers. If there's a goober Pokemon, you can be 99% sure that it's somewhere in this category of type. I should have just said type. Editor, give me some of the best goobers there are. Look at those little guys. Look at those little doofi. It managed to do the impossible and make the only good fairy type. So that gets some points for my favorite little guy. The rest of them are still trash. Don't at me. Fuck you, Sylveon. Every video. I can't do a Pokemon video without shitting on that terrible ribbon dog. It's home of the original Pokemon dick joke.
Metapod is for lovers.
It's home of Business Kakuna, of course, a timeless classic. A number of different nightmare fuels. Some of the coolest megas. Bug types got a lot to love. But Gamefreak does not seem to love bug type as much as bug type loves us. You poor little guys. They're bad. There's really no other way to slice it. Some of them have their uses. Mega Beedrill has seen some competitive use. I believe Pinsir at least used to be good back when there was a much lesser roster. I don't know, maybe I'm making that up and he just looks cool. Bug types is where gimmicks go to die. We've got King of Defense Shuckle. We've got Shedinja, everyone knows Shedinja bit. We've got Revival Blessing here, exclusively in bug type. Shut the fuck up, get out of my sight. Bug type seems to be the general, testing ground for things. But also, it seems to be the punching bag of the Pokemon world. And I'm frankly sick of it. They deserve a little extra love, you know? I mean, look at this. Look at this. Really just take a minute to take this all in. This is abysmal. Are you kidding me? A 3-7 split on offensive types. 3-7. What? Hey! The only thing that even comes close to that across the game is grass types, who also have it pretty rough, and poison types. And would you believe it? We got a shit ton of those dual types. All of these poor bastards just can't get a hit on anyone. And bugs, one of the three is grass. We gotta talk about this. Let's go down the list together. Fighting. They both resist each other? Why the fuck? I was gonna make a point about this, but now this has kind of scrambled my brain. Why the fuck do these two types resist each other? The only argument I could see in either direction here is fighting being super effective against bug. Which still seems mean, but you got a little bug here. What are you gonna do about it? Fight it. This seems obvious to me. Bug into flying, this makes total sense. Bugs would not win in a fight against birds, that's main predator. Bug into poison, I guess I see why a poison would resist a bug, but if the argument is that it's a poison itself, then yeah, poison should resist everything. How do you kill a poison? And if the argument is that it's a creature that has poison, I would make the argument that a shit ton of bugs have that anyway, And even if it's not a bug poison type, like, I drop the poison one. That one doesn't make any sense. Ghosts are resistant to bugs? When have you ever seen a bug go after a ghost and be like, ah, rats, I guess I'll go find a leaf to eat because I can't punch this ghost. Why? Again, is it because ghosts can't be hit by things? You know what else ghosts can't be hit by? Water, lightning, fire, the ground. Ghosts classically go through the ground and through the walls and fling tables around. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but I feel bad for socking that one into the jaw and I need to give him a win. I'm so sorry. Steel type. Sure, I guess if we're this obsessed with steel resisting everything, then yeah, a bug probably couldn't do anything to steel. Fire, sure, yeah, I get it. Why? Why this? You could have done such a funny thing by flipping this on its head. Bug should be super effective against fairy. And you know why? Because fairies are little. For the same reason that fighting should be super effective into bug, bug should be super effective into fairy. You got like a little Tinkerbell, and then a Hercules beetle shows up. Wham! This is one of the very few things that a bug could actively predator upon. Total missed opportunity. And while we're on things that don't make sense, why the fuck is bug super effective against dark? How does that make a single lick of sense? I've heard the argument that bugs are nocturnal, so like they thrive in the dark, but then why don't they resist dark? That makes more sense. Bugs should resist dark because they're nocturnal, a lot of them, and they can hang out in the dark. They like the light, they can take the dark. They're not good at attacking the darkness, and they're certainly not particularly good at attacking villains. Little known fun fact, fighting type is super effective against dark type because over in Japan it's like hero and villain type more accurately. So you like the hero, punch the villain and like, haha, there you go. So yeah, the type chart, fucked. Completely fucked. Bugs get shafted 7 ways to Sunday. Literally I can count the 7 days. They're called fighting, flying, poison, but at least bugs can make up for this with their phenomenal stat totals.
He said, sarcastically setting up a second verse in a comedy's
Did you know that bug types are the lowest type by average stat total in 3 separate categories out of a possible 7? They've got the lowest HP, they've got the lowest special attack, and they've got the lowest total average of all stats. Did you also know that the highest they get in any one stat by average is 12th place? 12th place out of 18 types. Guys, if you were a educational metric, you'd be Alabama. I mean, truly, this is poor. Guys, this is rough. Out of every stat pool in the entire game, every type, every stat, water types special defense, ghost types special attack, normal types hit points, every single possible combination. Bug type is 2nd and 3rd lowest. It's got both slots. The only reason that they aren't the worst in category for 2 different things is because rocks are slow as sin. And I mean, that's fair. How often do you see a rock out for his morning jog?
I was running.
The highest average stat for a bug type is lower than the average stat of any given type. That's also true for poison. I'm so sorry to my bug poison types. Truly, you are the most cursed of creations. You do not deserve to be this sad and pathetic, and I wish you weren't. So, the type chart sucks. Out the window. Get on out of here. The stats, also completely garbage. Hate it. Terrible. Get out of here. What do we do about this? How do we fix this? What is the method by which to fix this problem? Take a moment, place down the comment, let me hear what you have to say. What's your thought to fix it? Do you have all their answers in? Has everyone decided? Because I'm going to tell you, I have the perfect answer. You ready? Here's what we're going to do to fix bug types. Not a damn thing.
What did he say?
Bug types are exactly that. Bugs. Insects. Little. tiny guys. The largest insect alive is the giant stick insect. No, I'm not gonna try and fucking pronounce that, are you crazy? And they can get up to a whopping 22 inches long. That's huge. Almost 2 feet long. That's an enormous insect. It's shorter than my arm. It's shorter than most cats. It certainly weighs less than most cats. Don't even get me started on dogs. Or, I don't know, lions? Time gods? Bug types are in exactly the position they belong. They're bugs. You see bugs in your life all the time. I would argue that 90% of humans, probably more, have seen more bugs in their life than any other animal. Honestly, I might even make the claim that most people have seen more bugs than every other animal. They're everywhere. They're little. They're very simple. They're little Timmy's first pet. You get him a cockroach, you hope that he just likes the one, and then you can move him up to a hamster, or a snake, or a cat, or a dog. My point being, they're very small. They're very simple. Granted, there are a couple of exceptions. Sure, you can bust out like a Hercules beetle or this fucking fruit fly that I swear to God I'm going to find. A Titan beetle or a Goliath beetle. A lot of the big ones are beetles. I don't know. The point is, there are exceptions to the rule, but most bugs, fruit fly, ant, cricket, little dudes, little simple dudes that you see everywhere. And what do we see bug types in the game? Caterpie, Weedle, Wurmple. These are things you're just seeing. You get right to them. They're little. They stay pretty little. They stay pretty weak. All the way up. Sure, there's a couple of exceptions. Volcarona's pretty big and beefy. Fortress has seen some competitive play. These are the exceptions to the rule. As well they should be. Let bug types just be bugs. And here's the greater point that I'm getting at. Most people that I saw making this claim about justice for bug types were making the point that they weren't as statistically viable. See also the first half of this video. As many other types. And that's true. But let me re-pitch what I'm already basically saying. If I were to put my colony of ants against a dog in a death match, who's going to win that fight? Be honest with yourselves. 9 times out of 10, it's the dog. Sure, there are fire ants and that might make the difference, but if it's truly like bloodlust all the way down, they're not bringing down a lion. And that's okay. Bug types are filling exactly the role that they should fill. They're just little guys. They're baby's first Pokemon. They evolve quickly. They show you the ropes, get you the concept, and then you can move on to bigger and better stuff. Dogs, lions, dragons. Side note, I will grant you that it is a bummer that there's not a bug dragon type. I feel like there's a lot you could do with that. It doesn't have to be dragonfly, although these two absolutely should be bug dragon, and it's wild that this one isn't. Yanmega, you poor bastard, you should be a dragon type. Anyway, back to my greater point. A lot of people are upset that the bug types don't really hold a competitive candle. And here are my 2 arguments against that. First off,
we do see the Pachirisu on the field in the crowd.
For those that don't know, this is the Pachirisu that won the World Doubles Championship in 2014, I think. Fact check me on that number. Pachirisu is not good. There's no other way to say it. It's got some decent bulk. It's not a Garchomp. It's not a Salamence. And yet, it stood with the Titans and was the reason that that team won. Because it was unexpected. Because people weren't ready for it. And that could be a perfectly valid place for bugs to be in the competitive meta. If you've got a weird bug that can do something unexpected, it could turn the tide of battle. But 9 times out of 10, and especially if you know what you're getting into with it, a bug's not going to help you out that much. So this is kind of the perfect place for the bug type to be. It shouldn't be as strong as dragons or psychics or ghosts. A bug should not win a fight against a ghost. That makes total sense. And to my wider point here, we should stop, and this is no longer just about Pokemon, but I'm going to use that as an example. We need to stop balancing our games around competitive. We just do. It doesn't matter what the game is. With all of the love and respect in my heart, you are not going to be a competitive Pokemon player. You're just not. I'm not. I'm certainly not good enough to get that good. I tried competitive Pokemon for a while, not in any like professional setting, but just in a little thing, and I got my ass handed to me. And I would like to think that I'm pretty good at Pokemon. I've played almost all the games to completion. I know what I'm doing, but I'm not at a competitive level. You're not at a competitive level. You're definitely not at a competitive level. No, you're not better than me, just because you can remember the whole type chart. Fuck off. 99% of people, and honestly, the decimal place should probably keep moving with more nines, are not going to make it to a competitive level. Doesn't matter what the game is. Pokemon, Overwatch, League of Legends, Valorant, Ducks Can Drive. You're not gonna get there. You're just not. So for companies to be balancing their games with professional level play in mind is the same as a political candidate running on tax cuts for the ultra wealthy. It's not gonna help you. It's not gonna help me. It's only gonna help those people up there. And honestly, it's probably gonna hurt the rest of us. And this is exactly what we see time and time again when developers focus too hard on the competitive setting. This is what Pokemon looks like, perfectly balanced. Every type gets 5 weaknesses, 5 offenses. Every type gets Flamethrower, 98 power, 100 accuracy, 10% chance to do that type's status. Every type gets a status. Psychics get Confused. Fire types keep Burn. Ice types keep Freeze or Frostbitten or whatever they decide to go with. Dragons get Dragon's Breath. Grass gets Paper Cuts. I don't know. That's not the point. The point is they've all got their own thing. They're all at the same relative level of power. Stat pools are a flat line all the way across the board. Individual Pokemon can have different specializations, but the totals are exactly the same. This world sucks. This world is so sterilized and leveled off. There's no room for art, for beauty. There's no room for Pachirisu to show up and shock worlds. Shock, it's like a pun. This art and this story as a whole only holds the weight that it does because Pachirisu is bad. And that's a good thing. There should be bad Pokemon. There should be bad types. And there should be good types. This isn't one of them. And you can make the argument that X type should be better or isn't getting enough love. For instance, I do think that Ice type should be better. If they seem to be designing it like a glass cannon, I want it to be a glass cannon. That's cool, that's interesting. I think Ice types don't really have a niche right now, and it would be cool to give them a niche. But Bug types have their niche. And their niche is cute little guy that you start with. And that, honestly, probably doesn't get too good by the end game. But hasn't Pokemon been saying since the very beginning that it's not about strong or weak Pokemon? And that you should try to win with the ones that you like? That's the whole philosophy of the game. So let bugs just be little bugs. They don't need any justice. They have their own justice. And I'm A-okay with that. Did you like this video? Do you agree with me? Do you want my head on a pike? Well, if you want to see that, don't go to the Patreon. But if you want to see extended cuts, blooper reels, alternate versions of videos, and teasers for upcoming videos and all sorts of other fun stuff, that's the place to check it out. Remember this poor sap?
Why am I catching so many strings?
We're making him read stupid fan fiction once we get to 10, so somebody get me to 10. I want to watch him suffer. And if you want to watch me suffer, the place to check out is the Discord. It's free, it's fun, people love to yell at me just for existing, which honestly is where I feel like this video is going to get me. So, if you want to come scream at me about my bug type takes, and any other takes that I'm definitely going to continue to have, that's the place to do it. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. I hope you go outside and find a bug, and just take a moment to appreciate that it is little, and that it's doing its best. As long as you're not that fucking fruit fly that's in here, I'm going to get your ass!